is one of the real reasons you want to play Jeskai right now in Vintage is the ability to play Pyroblasts, and specifically Ken's list is running 4 of those. Card's very good. There's so many blue things you want to counter and deal with, but his Roland's deck is a bug deck. Actually, isn't really affected too much by Pyroblast. So it'll be interesting to see if that card comes useful or not in this matchup.
That's true. Heavy on the black-green cards.
Heavily into green specifically, for sure.
Yep. Green, okay, I thought I lost feed for a second. Green, just recently, within the last year or two, became a much more prominent color in Eternal formats like Vintage.
Yeah. Roland with no first turn play here. That's not where you want to be, though.
Yep. Just want to also mention the MTG Paper Vintage Discord is where you should join to not only play Vintage, but potentially find yourself playing in one of our events. Thank you, everybody who just tuned in. Round 3 of Paper Vintage tonight. Doesn't get much better than this. New meta, post-banning.
Ken's getting a real opportunity to scalp his hand here. 2 preordains on back-to-back turns. So...
yeah, so he's at 19. Some cantripping going on.
One of the other things I'm seeing that's interesting about Ken's list, he's running 2 Teferi Time Ravelers, which I don't know. We got Flusterstorm here on the Time Walk. All right. Roland didn't want to get even further behind there, so.
Yeah, that makes sense. That Time Walk was basically a growth spiral in the stack.
Roland no turn 2 play either. He's not played a green source. Usually, you want to fetch for green for a Trop Isle is the first land you want to get. So him not having that is pretty significant.
Force. Ooh, I hate pitching my Leovolds to Force, but he does.
Well, that's what Leovold's good for. He's got all those colors. You can pitch him to Force of Vigor, Force of Will, Force of Negation. He sometimes has to do that. That's what he's there for.
Yep. Also didn't have a green mana available. Maybe didn't feel confident he'd be able to drop it. Leovold's one of my favorite Eternal format cards.
It is so good, and now that we're not playing with Lurrus in our decks again, we can bring out our Leovold, we can bring out our Narsets, we can bring out all these good cards that we had to put in the binder for a few weeks. But
yep. Oko and Mentor, other cards
exactly.
that are
all those cards, you want them all shoving back in your deck now.
Snapcaster.
I think he's picking Time Walk.
It looks like it, yep, and he is fetching to be able to cast it. That's pretty mean. Yep, and that's a Time Walk.
Now, if Ken follows this up with like a real like playmaker, like another Planeswalker or a Mentor, if that's in his hand, you know, Roland's going to be in a lot of trouble, especially because his main way of dealing with things is Assassin's Trophy, which requires green mana, which he still doesn't have yet.
Yep.
Bug works best when you're disrupting your opponent's resources, using your wastelands and your strip mines effectively. And when you're behind on resources, it's kind of hard to claw back sometimes.
This is true. Let's look for 2 here. Let's roll him at 17. Snapcaster, another one of my favorite cards.
It's absolutely excellent in one of these decks, especially when you're snapcasting back Ancestral Recall.
Yeah, exactly. All right, rolling passes. Not going well so far. So this is more of a fair deck versus fair deck kind of matchup. This is where we're going to see more interactive magic, I guess.
Oh, for sure.
The first 2 rounds tonight, we saw Zerda, 4-color Urza with Zerda battle up against Bug and battle up against this Jeskai Xerox deck. And it split the matches, losing to Bug, which makes a lot of sense given all the artifact hate in that deck. But neither of these players are running companions, and they probably would have a week ago.
Yeah,
So, yeah, go ahead.
well, yeah, I mean, Jeskai is also a deck that was running a lot of Luris, but we're following up with a young Pyromancer here. But this is a when you take out the Luris, you get to put that Monastery Mentor back in, which is the finisher for this deck.
Yep.
You absolutely cannot let your opponent untap with a Monastery Mentor. You will lose every single game when that happens.
Oh, we're seeing a. What was that?
A
Force of
force
Vigor
of
on one Mox?
yeah,
Okay. Maybe Roland was going to have to discard a hand size. Brazen Borrower hits. I'm assuming he's hitting Young Pyro. Would not make sense to hit Snappy.
that would be a terrible call. You would not want to do that.
And he has an adventure token. Roland not known for having tokens available.
Look at him showing up, you know.
Roland famously never has tokens available. All right.
But when you're at home, you have no excuse. So
Yeah, exactly.
can't say you forgot him at home.
I believe that's a Sapphire, not an
I
island.
Yes, it's a Sapphire. Still no green mana though. He's in a rough place.
Yes.
If he's laying Ken tap here again. Well, at least he can now flash in the Brazen Borrower, but the Brazen Borrower can't block creatures while flying now, so it doesn't help at all against the Pyromancer and all the tokens it's going to create.
Yep. That race doesn't work out well. Here's Young Pyro. He's back. Let's see if Roland has a response. Yep, there's the sad Brazen Borrower.
No longer got rid of the Adventure token now.
Brazen
Put it
Borrower is
away.
another card that, especially in Legacy, was hot, and now with the Luris decks taking over, was put on pause for a moment. I think we just lost Roland's camera feed. Sorry about that, everybody watching. Thank everybody who helped with the
Technical
link.
difficulties there, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that was on my end. Not sure. Yep, you guys can continue. Okay. Swords on Brazen Borrower. Basically
Now,
just to get a token.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. That might have been really just more to get more power on the board than anything. Ken's already winning this race. He has already had 4 power, now 5 power on the board. It's going to outrace a 3 creature that can't even block, so
Treasure
I'm going to
Cruise
fall
here.
by a Treasure Cruise.
Thank you, RPF. There's Ryan Fisher in the chat.
Yeah, this is going to really come down to this game is going to come down to the fact that no green mana equals no action really on Roland's end.
All right. Swing for 4.
I think he could have attacked with the other token from the Swords of Plowshares as well here, but
I think he main phased that.
oh, he main phase that? Okay.
Yeah. Not sure why. Maybe he forgot it can't block. There's the green.
All right. Now, a Tarmogoyf would go a long way to stalling this board out at least a little bit. He's only at 14. It's not over yet. But you might also think about, let's see.
Well, there's a Tarmogoyf you mentioned. I wonder if he has Plague Engineers in there, because that would be great right now, too.
Yeah, his list is very similar to mine, at least it was in the past, and I don't think he's running Plague Engineer.
Gotcha.
He might have a Toxic Deluge out of his sideboard, but usually that's not in the main deck.
I see.
Now, one of the things about Treasure Cruise is that when you start delving away over your cards, you're actually shrinking your opponent's Tarmogoyf. So, despite all the action we've had, we only have a 3/4 Tarmogoyf here.
Yeah. Ancestral is going to put Ken Loderman even more ahead now. Plague Engineer, though, another card that was put in the binders, so to speak, during the Luris part of this format.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know you're in good shape when you're having trouble untapping all of your little tokens. So
Yeah. If you just tuned in, we're not playing Pokemon, we're playing Magic the Gathering, but those are elemental tokens.
they banned all the Pokemon, so
All right, rolling scoops.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And maybe the lightning bolt that he has also in the sideboard. You want ways of shooting down the Deathrite Shaman that you're hopefully playing on turn one.
Deathrite is key. So you're feeling like after sideboard, Jeskai is still favored here?
I would think so. Now, interestingly, he chose to get the Underground Sea, which means he probably has the Trop in his hand. And here's that Deathrite Shaman on cue. That's exactly how you want to be starting this game if you're Roland.
And those of you watching at home, if you look very closely, there's elks waiting on Roland's table there. Preordain.
And that's where Xerox wants to start. Xerox doesn't run Deathrite Shamans, doesn't really run a lot of one-drops other than those preordains, so...
Yep.
Well, it runs other one-drops, doesn't run one-drop permanents, really, I should say.
This is true. Needle. I assume he names death right here.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe assumption. I agree. It is always nice to see people get creative with their tokens. I've been playing Ken for forever. He always has the Pokemon tokens. He used the nice herb tokens, which is like a trainer card that he uses for his food when he's playing with Oko. So
Nice. Eternal Casual says it's always nice to see people get creative with tokens. I agree.
yeah, it says DRS on that Pithy Needle. So
I played Ikoria Limited with physical cards for the first time over the weekend, and cracked a few packs to do some sealed with my brother, just playing around, and I got the companion token. I didn't even know those were a thing. Have you seen those?
no, I haven't. I actually
They're
opened
nice.
a box of collector boosters today. So you don't actually you only get the foil tokens, but I can get one of those. So
Oh, the companion token looks awesome. Like almost like the adventure token, somewhere put off, to mark your companion. Looks awesome.
It looks like Roland's thinking about elking this Pithy Needle right here. That's what he's taking a moment to think about. Problem if you do that, then you're giving a 3/3 to your opponent.
Yeah,
But
that Oko takes 2 hits to die. Doesn't seem like a worthwhile.
well, if you the grinding out with Deathrite Shaman is a pretty strategic part of this game. It's probably a huge part of this plan for Roland. So yep, he is gonna go ahead and.
Oh,
elk.
unless he fatal pushes it or something right now.
So he didn't actually increase the loyalty of his Oko, but
Yeah, let's correct that. I believe your Oko is at 5 now. Yep, fixed. I said that in the most jerk way possible. I didn't mean it like that.
here's another Deathrite Shaman. So that's the real reason he wanted to go for this double Deathrite and start. I mean, the Jeskai deck runs so many instants and sorceries. You're gonna have so many opportunities to -2 life on the minus mode of the Planeswalker that is Deathrite Shaman, as we say. So
Yep. So that elk will probably attack Oko now. And well, let's see what he does. Another preordain. Jeez. A preordain, an ordain, and a post-ordain. Is that a bad joke?
you got me laughing. So
It's a bad joke. It is. I knew it before I said it. Like when I thought of it, there was like a filter that was like, should I let this one come out? And I just said, screw it, and I said it.
oh, and by the way, you have Roland up 1-0, not Ken up 1-0. So
Oh no, man, I am the worst. I'm gonna fire myself.
team effort. Don't worry. So here comes that Pithy Needle. It's Pithy Needle, not Pythy Needle, right? We're clear on this?
I think it's Pithing Needle, yeah.
Yeah, definitely going after Oko. Ken also looks like he's stuck on lands here, too.
Yeah.
He's only played one island so far.
Right after you said it, he gets strip mined.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so no red, no white. I mean, he could be holding all sorts of answers here. And now this is the kind of game that Bug wants to be playing, destroying your opponent's resources.
Yeah.
Another Deathrite Shaman.
The key cards for Bug in this matchup are obviously besides Deathrite Shaman and Oko, the Assassin's Trophies, Abrupt Decays. Those are the cards that you want to have in your hand when you start the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Roland's running Assassins. I mean, no, Abrupt Decay. I mean, the list
Right.
that popular tend to just run Assassin's Trophy because you can hit so many things with it. Oh, looks like we lost Roland again.
Yep, we did. Whenever you're ready. I'm sorry. Ben, you were saying?
Oh no, I was just saying the advantage of running Assassin's Trophy over Abrupt Decay.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but during the Luris meta, you saw some more Abrupt Decays because it was uncounterable and it hit everything in everyone's deck because no one was running anything that costed more than 2 anyway. So
Yeah. All right, rolling back with us.
and it looks like Ken passed here. Oh man. So I wonder if
I think that puts Ken at 18, right?
yeah. An interesting line here might be to trade the food for the elk token,
Yeah.
and then you really start hitting hard.
If he takes that trade though.
Well, using the minus ability of Oko, once you build it up, the
Oh, I
minus
see. Yeah, to
5
swap it. Yeah.
is a swap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he has no mana now, can at all.
Interesting choice though. I mean, he did give him 6 power. The argument against it would be giving your opponent 6 power.
So here's another land finally for Ken. Now the question is, what is he holding in his hand right now? What can get him out of this spot? Because that Oko isn't going away. I mean, you can attack here, but he probably blocks with at least one Deathrite Shaman to let Oko survive, I would assume.
I think so. Yeah.
You can even
Now,
triple block one of the elks. It looks like he's doing that. He's triple blocking one of the elks. And then it kills one, and it leaves him with 2 Deathrite Shamans.
that makes sense. I would block the needle.
Well, I don't know if Ken runs any ways of blinking it. I mean, if he got Teferi back in play, he could bounce the needle back to his hand with the minus on Teferi.
Right.
But
I think that's why you want to kill it here. So the one that's probably going to die, he's using.
yes.
All right, a fetch for Ken. He apparently has a response of some kind. He gets a Tundra. Ooh, if he swords one of the extra death rights, that's kind of brutal. Yeah, that's rough. I guess that was the argument against triple blocking
Yeah.
as well.
The Lightning Bolt could have done the same thing.
Yeah, that was a risky block. Checking life total. Yeah, I believe I have it correct.
He's not out of the woods though yet. He still only has 1 mana source. He's still susceptible to a wasteland.
Yes. Oh, 15. I had it right the first time.
It'll be interesting to see what Ken's plan. There's that wasteland. Man, Ken cast 3 preordains this game and only ended up with, what, 2 lands? That's pretty rough. Oh, there's his nice little elk.
There it is. There was one day at our local shop. Me and Roland played at the same local shop, Game Storia here in New York. Roland just showed up. Actually, it was Phil Nguyen, I believe. One of them showed up with a big bag of elk tokens. Those little cutout pieces of wood you see there, and Roland stuck a bunch of googly eyes on them, and we've been using them ever since. I have them too.
So I don't know if I held mine up to the camera during our match, but the last Irish pound coin before they switched to the euro is this beautiful metal coin with a nice elk on it. So I don't know if that's
Nice.
coming up on camera, but I
Yeah,
carry these in my deck box and I pull them out whenever I'm elking anything. So
I like that one.
I bought them for like 30 cents each on eBay or something like that. So
Yeah, I just have those little statues. The statues. What am I saying? Those little toys
figurines.
with the figurines with the googly eyes on it.
Okay, so another Tundra here from Ken. So maybe, I mean, another Swords to Plowshares on this elk, or a way of dealing with that elk here, could possibly kill this Oko.
Yeah, and this was the risk in elking the sapphire.
Well, I guess he can still kill. If he attacks with both, he can still kill this Oko right here.
Yep.
Oh, but there's another Swords, though. That's huge. Now he's got to worry about the clock of this Deathrite Shaman, which is
Just gonna
always a
check in
clock.
with the players on the life total quick.
Let's see.
Hey guys, did Roland forget to gain life when his Deathrite was exiled from Swords?
Oh, yes, that's possible.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So
So
I
I
have
should
him
be
at
at 21.
24. I have you at 24 now?
He attacked in this turn to bring me down to.
Yeah, one was at Oko, one was at Roland.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
you're at 21 and
I'm at 21. Yeah.
Ken's at 14?
Ken's at 14. Yes.
All right, thanks guys. Continue.
Okay.
Looks like my cat is trying to make a cameo over here. Sorry, guys.
Just getting life totals right for everyone at home.
Now, it looks like Roland might have stalled out now here.
Yeah.
Ken has a chance to rebuild. That 6 power on the board is going to look really good. He said, bring it on.
Taking 6 isn't fun. I think Ken just fetched, right? 13.
Yeah.
And
Lavinia.
Lavinia. Oh, it's another creature.
It's another body. Its abilities aren't going to be that useful right now, other than not being able to play your Black Lotus and your other few mocks left. But he has enough mana to hard cast his Force of Wills. So,
Yep. All right. You put some.
really
Ken-
looking for a nice Tarmogoyf here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Brainstorm.
Or
I can
the
find Tarmogoyf.
Toxic Deluge would be great right now too.
Yeah, that would be great.
Thank everybody who just tuned in. First glimpse at the new vintage meta post Luris.
Come over here.
Appreciate everybody for watching.
It's my kid and Yennefer. Say hi, everyone.
Hello, hello. Checking life totals again. Yeah, 15. Okay. All right, there's the Goyf. It's good
That
news
Goyf
for Roland.
is going to be pretty big. It's probably at least a 4 or 5, I believe.
Do I think they might change how Companion works? I don't know. No idea.
Rosewater posted in his blog that it's a possibility. So
Yeah.
I recommend everyone go and look at his blogatog, I believe it's called. And
Yes, that's right. Blogatog. It's a cool name for a blog.
this 4 or 5 Tarmogoyf is going to do a lot here because
And a
and there's the
push.
Fatal Push.
What are you hitting with Fatal Push here?
I believe one of the Elks.
Yeah. That makes sense. Still letting that Pithing Needle live. I don't know if that's right, because like you mentioned earlier, he can Teferi bounce it and redeploy it.
That does make the Goyf bigger, because now we have an artifact in the graveyard.
Yes. I probably would have hit the needle. What about you?
I think so.
Yeah, if he drops Teferi right now and bounces that Pithing Needle, he's going to be upset. Oh, is that exactly what just happened?
Is
Yep,
it?
that's a Teferi time Rattler.
But is he? But he might. The question is, does he bounce his needle though? Because he loses a lot of power here, and
Yeah, it leaves Teferi vulnerable.
he could bounce the Goyf and swing for 5 here, but then you replaying the Goyf anyway.
And you're leaving Teferi to get attacked by
The Deathrite
Deathrite
Shaman,
Shaman,
exactly.
All right, so
is
he bounces
bouncing
the Goyf.
though. So he didn't see that. He must have thought about it though. He took a second to think about that line.
Yeah. But, he didn't have to do it this turn, I guess. I mean, you have to wait a few turns, but still.
I wonder what's the advantage of not attacking with Lavinia here though. That's a 2/2.
Protecting Teferi, I guess.
Yeah.
You got to protect Teferi.
Teferi is a card that, when you have it on your side, it feels very underwhelming. But when you're playing against it, it is devastating to play against.
Does it really feel underwhelming to you? Whenever I have Teferi, I feel like I can't lose.
I don't know. Sometimes you feel like it's only all right, but that
It's
ability
pretty
is
nuts.
that ability is just so good, though.
Yeah. Anytime I've had my time Rattler in play, I felt good. All right, plus there. Do people play, obviously there's Abrupt Decay and stuff that can hit anything, but do people play specific Planeswalker removal in Vintage?
Well, usually the Abrupt Decays and Assassin's Trophies are going to be used to hit those kind of things.
I'm talking more about like Elder Spell, Hero's Downfall type cards that are specifically to remove Planeswalkers.
Not so much. You really need your answers to be versatile. They need to hit multiple different things.
Yeah.
This is a dig through time here. There are very few games you lose when you resolve a dig through time.
Dig through time looking great right now. Also shrinking that Goyf.
It's another huge part of it as well.
Eternal Casual also pointing out Pyroblast is the best answer to Planeswalkers. Yes. I mean, a lot of the Planeswalkers in Vintage and Legacy are blue, so that is true.
Red and 6 does get some play, and unfortunately Pyroblast doesn't answer that. But
that's a good point, yep. I forgot about Red and 6. Now gone from the Legacy format.
It's been so long. We've had so many bannings since then.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, Red and 6, though, not a big part of Vintage at this point, is he?
It's a little bit. There is
or she? Is it a she? I'm not sure.
There are some 4-color. They're almost similar to bug decks, but they also run some red spells as well. And you see Red and 6 a lot. Red and 6 plus Strip Mine is a pretty good combination. I'll say that much. Also,
yeah, go ahead.
Red and 6 plus Mystic Sanctuary. Also, you can do a lot of funky things with that card. So
this is true. Tired Papa Smurf says that's why you play Painter's Servant. Painter's Servant, not a big part of Vintage either, is he? Bolt targeting that Deathrite, I guess.
Get one last meal out of your Deathrite Shaman here.
Yep. And the life gained for Roland, if that thing resolves. Gab Madness, thank you for the follow. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
If you love Paper MTG, hit that follow button. We play Legacy, Vintage, Cube, Pre-Modern, all kinds of 90s magic going on here. All right, Tarmogoyf is now back up to 5 somehow. Oh, because he put his
he used Lavinia's. He played the Mox Emerald, and which got countered by Lavinia, throwing it to the graveyard.
That was clever.
That was.
Roland Chang is good at this game.
Is that a May ability? I'm not sure, actually.
And
no, counter that spell. It's not a May ability, so...
Yeah.
Wow. That is a smart move by Roland there.
Gab Madness thanking us for showcasing some Vintage gameplay in Paper. It is our pleasure.
And if you're looking for more Vintage action, please check out the Vintage Discord. I can put another link to it down there in the chat for you guys. But
Yes, check out the MTG Paper Vintage Discord and play with us, against us, or with each other. All right, swing in here since Teferi is now dead. Does that Goyf get even bigger now? Or was it already a Planeswalker in the yard? Oh, Oko was in the yard.
yeah, Oko.
Swinging for 5. Pretty good. Roland takes it.
Here you once again, guys. Here's that link to that Discord. Just shove that in there for y'all. He's floating off of the wasteland.
All right, Goyf now a 6. They have enchantment in there?
Creature, artifact, instant, sorcery, land, Planeswalker. That's 6. Okay,
Oh, it is 6. Okay.
I believe. Though truthfully, I can't really see.
No, it's a 5. There's no... Yeah, no, it's a 5. I was right the first time. They must have miscounted. There's no enchantment or no tribal or anything. Right? I don't know.
Who knows?
We'll let the players
They're
figure it out. It's
I
their
always
problem.
loved that Tarmogoyf mentioned Planeswalkers, and it was printed before any Planeswalker was actually ever made. So we had like a good 6 months between the printing of Future Sight and Lorwyn for us to guess what Planeswalkers actually were. So
Yeah, they recently used that same strategy, if you want to call it that, with marketing Ikoria by putting a mutate on, was it unsanctioned card? I forgot what the card was called.
oh right,
All right, so swinging for 5, 6, 7. Oh,
Look what-
was that a scoop? Yep. All right, let's check in with the players.